You and I always need to make sure we keep the sewing machine cleaned out underneath the throat plate, no matter which machine you own. So on the Pfaff Creative 1.5 sewing machine, I'm going to show you what we're going to do to get in and take the bobbin case out and get everything nice and clean. I'm going to loosen up the needle screw. Now, if I don't want that to drop into the machine, remember the multi-purpose tool we showed you? That's a great little guy to have close by, and then when you loosen it enough, it will drop into the tool and not down where you can't reach it here. So let's go ahead, we'll give it a little wiggle. Kind of like a loose tooth here, get that to come on down. Here it comes. But see how easy it is to catch. And if it's been a while since you've changed a needle, definitely put a new one in. We're going to take the foot off, just push straight down. Now your smaller screwdriver, that's the one that you're going to use to get these screws out. Once you loosen them, I'll usually just spin them with my fingers and then set them off to the side. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do when you go to clean the machine is use canned air. Canned air blows more into the machine. It is not a good idea to use that on anything. So you need your brush. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little lift. Now, I know this is a brand new machine, so I definitely am not going to have anything that's going to be really linty in here. But the next thing I want to do is take out the bobbin case. Give it a little wiggle, and this is where all the lint is going to be. So just make sure that if there is any, you take your brush, get in there, and then clean it out. Now, to put everything back together, let me show you the little trick here. First off, the bobbin case does have some pointy parts that need to point directly to the back of the machine. And as you put it in here, I'm going to point out, there's kind of a black little heel. Just make sure that that is bouncing up against this little spring. If for any reason it gets twisted and on the other side of that, things do not work well. So it has a little play right now as it's just sitting down in the bobbin, the hook area. And then here, we're just going to slide this back down and in. Make sure everything is nice and flush. Replace the screws. And how often do we need to do this? So first off, you know, if you were to use up 3 or 4 of those bobbins, that's a lot of sewing. You know what I'm talking about. It's probably going to maybe even sound a little rougher, maybe not as smooth as when you first got the machine. And 2, if you're sewing on a lot of fleeces, flannels, or battings, those are fabrics that are very, very linty. So do keep that in mind as you are sewing. If you start to get any skip stitches or breaking of thread, yes, you're going to put a new needle in, but get under here and clean it out. Now, on the annual cleanings, you do want to take the machine in to your local Pfaff store and have it cleaned on a regular basis, and that is just going to make the machine last longer. Now, notice what I'm putting in last, the needle. If you put the needle in after you've put the presser foot back on, now you can put the tip of the needle down and you'll know exactly where that needle comes up. The other thing with this tool is it will help make sure you get the needle at the highest position and hold it there while you are tightening that screw. And the last thing to double check is make sure that you use your needle threader, because if you don't get your needle at the highest position, the needle threader will not line up. So definitely, you know, I know sometimes people are like, oh, I never use the needle threader. This is why you need to know how to use your needle threader, because when it all works, you know that that needle did get up high enough and didn't get left too low and would hit something it shouldn't. So once you do this, remember every couple bobbins, get in and clean it out, put a new needle in, and your machine will thank you.